Hi guys, we're just going to let a few more people filter in here and we are going to get started with our Cutie Booty class. I am Jen and I have taken over Obby's Forest Hill Village gym feed so that we can do our Cutie Booty class together and I can have the full screen. Hi everybody. For today's class, we need mini bands, a dumbbell, and some sort of elevation, bench, step, couch, coffee table, anything works. If you don't have mini bands, that's fine. If you don't have weights, that's fine. You can, number one, get creative and use something in its place, or you can modify to just do the workout without those accessories. Each of those accessories just makes everything that much harder. So again, for those of you who have just filtered in, I am Jen. My Instagram handle is Your Macro Coach, and I am here in Obby's Forest Hill Village gym feed to lead you through Cutie Booty, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11 a.m., half hour, nonstop. So without further ado, let's get started. You know, I always like to start off with a really quick glute activation. I just want to establish that mind-muscle connection to the glutes. Make sure it's the glutes that are leading all of these exercises, not the quads or the back taking over. So let's get started. This is body weight just for the activation. It's really not meant to be your first exercise. It's just getting us going. So why don't we just start off with some body weight squats. Try to get down low. I've mentioned this before. Squats definitely do work the glutes. They do tend to work more lower glute than upper glute, but the glutes are most engaged at the bottom of a squat. So if your ankle mobility allows it, lower squats are really going to benefit your glutes more than if you only get down a little bit. Although there's a time and place for everything. Also, while we're doing this, while we're just activating our glutes, sometimes people try to further engage their glutes by sort of thrusting at the top of a squat. A thrust is not part of a squat. So I don't want you to focus on squeezing your glutes so much that you thrust your hips, okay? That's a different movement. All right, we've done a few of those. Let's get down on the ground. Let's just do some glute raises. So here I do want the thrust. I always mention it. I'm not going to end up in a back bridge. It's a posterior pelvic tilt and a squeeze of the glutes. Just a few here to wake them up. Good. This is a really nice angle to post of myself on the internet. All right, guys, let's get on our hands and knees. And let's do a few fire hydrants on each side. Leading with your glute. Make sure you can feel that it's your glutes engaging here. For those of you who have just joined us, we're just activating the glutes, getting them ready for the hard work ahead. A few more on this side. And let's switch sides. Other leg. And also for those of you who have just joined us, if you've got mini bands, if you've got a dumbbell, and if you've got either a step, a bench, or even a coffee table or couch nearby, that's going to be helpful. A few more. Good. All right. So, first round, we're ready to work, okay? We're going to take our mini bands. Take your heaviest one. Come on, let's challenge ourselves. It's just half an hour. Above the knees, grab a dumbbell. We're starting off with hip thrusts, so you're going to use your bench, your sofa, your couch, coffee table, whatever. For these hip thrusts, we are going to accentuate the eccentric, which means the downward motion. So what we're going to do is dumbbell on your lap, where it's comfortable, sort of the crease of the legs here. You're going to thrust up and then count to 4 as you go down. So let's get started. Thrust up, count to 4, nice and slow. There should be enough spread of your legs that you feel the resistance on your resistance band. That's the point of it. Thrust and slow. Thrust and slow. Really try to slow yourself down. There's a big tendency to let gravity take over and speed you up on the down. Let's keep going. And down. And down. So we've got double resistance here from our dumbbell and from our mini band. Already burning. Let's go. Thrust and slow down. 2 more. Last one. Hold it up and pulse. 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 Still pushing out on that resistance band. Staying up at the top of this thrust. It's like a quarter movement here. Let's go. Keep yourself at the top of the thrust. Keep resistance on the band. Few more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Back down. Reset yourself, but we're going again, okay? So you want the edge of your coffee table or your couch to be at your bra line or just below the shoulder blades. You've got a resistance band on, you've got the dumbbell, and let's go. We are thrusting up and counting slow down. Up, slow eccentric downward movement. Eyes are forward, chin is tucked. Up and down. Spread the legs to feel the resistance of the band. Slow that downward movement. Good work. Glutes are already on fire. Hip thrusts are a great way to start off your glute workout because they work upper and lower glutes. And they're a big movement that we don't want to compromise form. All right, last one, hold it up and pulse. Pulse, 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 pulse. Quarter movement here. Resistance is on the band. Let's go, almost done. 10 more seconds. You can do it, ignore the burning. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! All right, I think our glutes are awake. Grab a sip of water. We're gonna go into circuit 2. For circuit number 2, we are going to need, once again, our mini band and our dumbbell. Again, take your thick band over the knees. Grab your dumbbell. We're starting off with goblet squats. Goblet squats, you're holding your weight in front of you. You're getting down as low as you're able to. Of course, you've got the resistance band on, so you're going to feel it, especially at the bottom. For these goblet squats, we are going to do what we call 1 1/4 or 1 plus a pulse. So it's going to look like this. Down, pulse, up. Down, pulse, up. Ready? Grab your stuff. We're going right into it. Here we go. Down, pulse, up. Down, pulse, up. That's good. Get low if you can. Up, down, pulse, up, down, pulse, up. The band for these goblet squats really adds something because in order to let the weight get between your knees, your legs have to be pretty far apart. So you're really going to feel that band. Keep going. Working on depth as your ankle mobility allows you to. If you find that your ankle mobility is really limiting you, you can try elevating your heels. So to elevate your heels, you would take something sturdy and flat that you can put behind your feet. So that could be 2 big cookbooks, could be weight plates like for a barbell. Try that and see how it improves your ankle mobility. All right, drop the weight and go straight into lateral steps. So we're not giving those abductors any break here. We're using the resistance of the band continuously here for this whole circuit. Let's go. Go. big enough steps that you're really feeling the stretch on your band. Now, if you're working at home and you've got a different band and your band is stiffer than mine, you may not be able to take as big steps. But if you're feeling it, that's great. If you're working with one of these bands and they've got super duper stretch, you may find that you need to take bigger steps than me. That's fine too. Just really push yourself. Make sure you're not cheating the movement, because what's the point of doing it if you're cheating yourself? All right, grab the weight. Let's go back to those 1 1/4 goblet squats. That's 1 plus a pulse. Here we go. And up, down, pulse, up, down, pulse, up, down, pulse, up. Your abductor should be on fire from this band. Keep going. Pulsing at the bottom before you come up. Getting as low as you can. Working on improving our depth over time. Woo, my legs are on fire. Let's keep going. All right, 10 more seconds. Don't forget the pulse. Down, pulse, up, down, pulse, up. 2 more. 1 more. All right, drop the weight and continuously go right into those lateral steps. When we are sidestepping or doing any of these abduction moves, we want to lead the motion with our heel as opposed to our toe. Okay, so think about pushing the side of your foot or even your heel out first. Big steps. Don't cheat it. Work to the maximum that this band will allow you to. I don't care about speed. I don't care about number of steps. I care about big, quality movements for 15 more seconds. Whew. We're doing great. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Drop that band. Grab a sip of water, and we'll get right into circuit number 3. All right, circuit number 3. We're going to be doing single leg deadlifts with a mini band if you've got one. Otherwise, a dumbbell is fine or body weight is fine. I am using this this mini band around my foot. So I'm going to step on it, okay, with my working leg. Still going to use a wall, I think, for some balance. And I'm going to do a Romanian deadlift against the resistance of the band. It's going to feel a little bit different than if we were using the dumbbell because we've got accommodating resistance. This band changes the entire way through the motion. Get my timer ready. Get your band ready. Let's start with leg number 1. So as I said, if you do not have a mini band, or if your mini band really doesn't work well for this, doesn't feel good, then go to your dumbbell or go to your body weight. No problem there. However, even though we've done this movement before with the dumbbell, it's always good to change it up a little bit because, as I said, the changing resistance, the resistance profile of this band is different than if you were using a dumbbell. So it just puts different stimuli on the muscles at different points of the exercise. All right, and now switch feet, stepping on it with your other foot. I'm using same arm to hold the band, same arm, same leg side, okay? So here we go. And I am using a wall for support. If you've got better balance than me, then feel free to remove the supporting hand. Now my hand is not doing any work, the one on the wall. I've just got 2 fingers on the wall so that I don't fall on my face. A few more here. So you should really be able to feel that even when we're at the top of the motion, where with a dumbbell we would have basically no resistance there, this is when the band is at its most stretched, so it changes the exercise. Couple more. All right, get rid of your band, but keep it nearby. We are going straight into right leg, forward lunge, reverse lunge. Here we go. Same leg. I'm doing a light toe tap in between my forward and reverse lunge, just for balance, and also because I don't want to compromise my form. If you're able to go straight through, it certainly is killer. I just find that I'm a little bit too wobbly when I do that. So it's just a light toe tap to reground myself. One more. And let's switch sides. Left leg, forward, reverse, forward, reverse. So there's obviously an element of balance with this exercise as well. If you can, in the deep part of your lunge, think about leaning your torso a bit forward so that we're biasing the glute work. A few more. Last one. All right. Grab the mini band. We're going back to those deadlifts. So stepping on it with the first working leg, something for support if you need it, and let's go. Remember, with the Romanian deadlift, your working leg is not stick straight. It's got a slight bend in the knee, but that bend is not changing through the movement. The motion is at the hip. It's your glutes, your butt going to the back of the room until we feel a pull in the hamstrings, and then we come back up. I don't know about you guys, but I like this with the band. I like the feel of it. I like the pull. Two more. Last one. All right, switch feet. Stepping on it with the second foot. Wall for support if you need it. And here we go. With a dumbbell, or with body weight, or with the band. Remember, the goal is not to touch the floor with your weight. There's no prize awarded for the depth that you can get to. You want to get to the point where you feel that maximal stretching in your working hamstring, and that's your cue to raise back up. For me, it's just below my knee. That's as deep as I get. Some people will have greater flexibility and they have to go down lower. But if you're only getting to your knee or so, that's fine. All right, get rid of the mini band. Right leg, forward, and reverse lunge. Toe tap in the middle, just to stabilize you. Make sure your form isn't compromised, or just go right through it. But I don't want you going right through it if you're wobbling all over the place, okay? I'd rather better form with a toe tap. Leaning the torso slightly forward at the bottom of the lunge, working the glutes more. Last one. Switch sides, no breaks. We'll get one at the end of this circuit. I mentioned this last week, but we want nice, round, elevated glutes. So we want to work them from all angles. We do our squats and lunges because we know that they work. We also know that we can, in certain contexts, use weight to really load those exercises, but they tend to work the lower glutes more than upper and side. So we throw in our hip thrusts and our glute raises because they work upper and lower. We throw in a lot of abduction or leg lifting exercises to round it out from the side. And we do make sure we're working our hamstrings because we want glutes that are separate from the back of our legs. Last one. Woo! All right, great job. Grab your water and we'll get into our next circuit. Are we all good? All right, next circuit. I'm going to use my mini band. I actually prefer to use my thinner elastic one versus the thickie because we're going to be doing abductions, standing leg lifts basically, and I find that it gives me a greater range of motion. If you only have a thickie, and if like me, you find that when you put it around your ankles, you can barely move your legs, then try putting the thickie above your knees and doing the exercise that way. Just play around with it, find the method that works best for you, that gives you the greatest challenge, where you feel like it is your glutes doing the work, not your quads, all right? So we are going to do standing abduction 3 ways, meaning we're gonna go straight to the side, we're gonna go to a 45-degree angle, and then we're gonna go into a kickback. And we're gonna do everything on one leg and then switch to the other leg, all right? So, getting ready, hand for support if you need it, and side, straight out to the side here. First leg, we're gonna hammer this leg, do all 3 exercises, and only then are we gonna switch to the other side. It's a minute on each leg for each of the rounds. Okay, 45 degrees, no breaks. Remember what I said earlier, when we're doing these abductions, we want to sort of lead with the side, the edge of your foot, or your heel, okay? Not your toe. So turn your foot to allow for that. We're at 45 degrees now. First leg, and then straight to a kickback. The kickback does not have to be a huge movement. What it does have to be is it has to end with maximal glute squeeze. Put your hand on your butt. Make sure you feel the squeeze. 5 more seconds on this leg. All right, change and just right away, leg number 2, straight out to the side. Once you start the second leg, it's a bit interesting because the first leg is quite tired and yet it still has a job. It is stabilizing us. So I find that after I've finished leg number 1, it gets a whole lot harder. Okay, 45 degrees. Because essentially neither leg is getting a break here. Make sure you're going until you feel that full glute squeeze. Like I said earlier, there's no points for number of reps achieved. It's the quality of the reps. And straight into the kickback. Not a big movement, but a good one. Feel that squeeze. You shouldn't be able to lift your leg any further back because your massive pumped glutes are preventing it from getting back any further. 5 more seconds on leg number 2. And quickly switch back to leg number 1, straight out to the side. Oh, leg number 1 did not forget. Wow, that hurts right away. That's okay. We can feel where it's working. And 45 degrees. We're back on leg number 1. We're doing our 45-degree abduction. Kind of off to the side and back. Not a huge motion, especially as you get tired. Whew. Both legs are screaming at me. Kick back. All right, here we go. Now, you can't really tell because of the angle of the camera, but I am slightly leaned forward against my wall. Not because I'm bracing myself weight-wise, but I just do find that I get a slightly bigger range of motion. I can feel my glutes a little bit better in that position. All right, and quickly switch to the second leg. Straight out to the side. So for any of you who may have the thickie band on above the knees, just make sure that you are initiating the motion with the glutes. You're not letting sort of your knee and your quad take over. And still focus, okay, 45 degrees, on leading with the heel or the side of the foot. If you think about that, it will bias the glutes activating this movement. And into a kickback. Doing great, guys. Whew, whew. Time flies when you're hammering your glutes. 3, 2, 1. All right, that circuit is done. So we're gonna grab a sip of water. We're gonna go into our glute burnout. For those of you who have done my class before, you know I like to end it with one circuit that just fries us. The one that leaves you that you have to crawl over to your phone to turn off Instagram, because why not, okay? So for this one, we're really gonna do it. I tried it yesterday. I don't even think I could do it. So let's see if I can do it today. Here's what we're gonna do. The thickie above the knees. We're gonna do foot elevated glute raise. So you're next to your bench, your step, your coffee table, your whatever. Heels are up on the elevation. You're gonna be lying back. And we're gonna try to go for 3 minutes straight. Let's see. All right, so lying on your back, heels up, band is on, go right into a glute raise and hold it here. Okay, just squeeze those glutes. Make sure you're pushed out on the bend that you can feel the resistance. Notice that I'm not in a bridge, okay? I've just got maximum glute squeeze here. A few more seconds here. All right, without relaxing, let's go straight into glute raises. Down and up. Still feeling the resistance on the band. Still getting a maximum glute squeeze at the top here. Keep going. Keep going. One more. Hold it at the top and let's do abductions. So that means open and close the knees against the resistance band and keep the glute squeeze here. Keep going. Few more seconds of abduction and stop the abduction, but stay up, holding it in the top position. Squeeze those glutes. Keep squeezing. Come on. Don't lose the squeeze. Don't lose the resistance on the band. Think about both those things. Here we go. And without taking a break, we are going to go down, squeeze, down, squeeze. This is the point where I find it gets a little bit hairy. Woo! Keep going. Going to maximum glute squeeze at the top and not losing the resistance on that band. You can probably guess what's coming next. Hold it at the top and abductions. When you are abducting, this is not sagging. Squeeze those glutes. You can do it. Come on, we're almost at 2 minutes. And hold. Make sure you're back in that full glute squeeze. You have enough resistance on the band that you can feel that band. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. You can do it. Come on, this is less than a minute to go. We're almost done. And no breaks. Let's start down and up. Squeeze those glutes at the top. Come on, 30 seconds to go. Big squeezes. And hold it at the top, abduction. This is it, guys. 20 seconds left. Make sure that your glutes are maximally squeezed and you are pushing on that band. Out, 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 out. Come on, we only have 10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're done. You did it. I hope that you made it through. Half hour Cutie Booty. As always, I am Jen at your macro coach. I will be back here Thursday, 11 a.m. for a brand new Cutie Booty class. Every class is different. Bring your mini bands, your dumbbells, your steps, or get creative. And DM me any questions or requests. Otherwise, thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you on Thursday.